We dealing with the science of it. We dealing with the ancient science of ancient times. So when we talk about this, we can talk about that, but we know that even in ancient belief systems, you had Atum, right? You had Ptah. Ptah is what? The opener, the creator God. So this is something that created. And when our brother Inky explained the Acts, he said primordial. He said something that willed something into existence. And this is something that he was explaining on a higher authority and a higher level. Definitely. Definitely. So we here to get our family back and fight for what we have to fight for. So we're not going to hold you too much longer, but we have a few more brothers that need to talk and they have words. We have our brother Lord Gabriel, who I like to call up to step to the mic. Yeah. Oh, you need a projector screen? Yeah. Well. All right, definitely. We can set up a projector screen, but you don't need a projector screen, right? Let's go to Lord Abel while we set up this projector screen.
Islam, that means peace and greetings to you all. I rise giving all praise to Allah and the highest of honors to his holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I extend those honors to the harbinger and forerunner Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I extend honors to all true and divine prophets, and I extend honors to you all, for when man honors man, he honors his father God Allah. That's some excellent information up here today, and I gotta say that I came here to let the people know that I am stepping up to be a leader and not just a teacher. And I need warriors, point blank period. I need brothers and sisters that's willing to get out there on the highways and the byways with me and go knock on doors like Jehovah's Witnesses do, so that we could clean up our brothers and put them in suits and bow ties like the Nation of Islam do. Teach them sciences that they can better themselves with like the 5%ers do. Organize them politically like Prophet Noble Ali did and give them a nationality. I want to do what Marcus Garvey did by giving our people a sense of organization.
Take this one to you. Kill him. I'm sorry, brother.
My bad, bro.
Yeah, take the phone.
You got another mic?
Yeah, we ready.
All right. Just give us a minute. It's a little distraction.
We can still see you though. You was flown, baby.
That's all right.
You can step in front of the screen.
All right.
We started playing the band with you.
All right, yeah. So basically, you know, I didn't come up here to speak about thousands of years of history. I came to deal with the here and the now. And most of us know about the issues that plague us with the here and the now. You hear everybody speak about homosexual agenda. They're trying to push a homosexual agenda on our people. Well, where are we? What are we doing to stop the agenda? They keep putting drugs into our communities. Well, what are we doing to stop that? Is this the summation of what consciousness is? Us just coming to hear each other speak? Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, more is said than done. When do we get together and do something? How long will we agree to disagree? I think that's the most foolish thing in the world. Agree to disagree. I'm a warrior scholar. I just gotta let it be known for those that know me, they know that. And I feel that I can back up my teachings 100%. And I'm not saying that nobody else cannot back up their teachings 100%. I'm just saying if we disagree on something, let's sit down until we agree. Now we start moving in unison. I don't stand here as one of them deep brothers, and sorry if I don't come off that way. I just came here to talk some real talk to the people, point blank period. How do we fix the family structure? Culture is missing. This is evident. The culture is missing. If I bring up a word like polygyny, the sisters in here may look at me like I'm crazy. For those of you who do not know, polygyny is a man having more than one wife. This is cultural. The 2010 census shows us that there are 1.8 million more of our sisters than our men. I'm just trying to deal with things in the here and now, so please bear with me. I don't want to bore nobody. I don't want to put nobody to sleep.
Good.
Now, let's deal with a sister's standards, because she might want somebody that's educated. You know, some type of degree, GED or something. So we just knock down a whole peg of a percentage. Incarceration, do I even have to speak on those numbers? Nah. So I think my research put me at 54% right there. Back to the homosexual agenda. If there are a bunch of homosexual men running around and you got women who already outnumber men, Philadelphia, Baltimore, New York, the percentages are staggering. Look up the colleges, for instance. The enrollment of our sisters compared to our brothers is staggering. We need a cultural shift, point blank. My sisters that's in the room, there's an image of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Powerful image. I think it's probably the most powerful image that I've ever seen in my life, where he is carrying a woman, our sister, up out of the water. The name of the waters is called the cares of the world. And he's carrying her, and she's passed out, for she has drowned in the cares of the world. Written across her body says humanity. And he's bringing her onto the dry lands called salvation, because he has to revive her. He has to resuscitate her. He has to stand her back up to where he's at, back to being a noble. And this is missing in our communities. Most of our brothers have become wimps, point blank period. They don't want to beat the streets. They don't want to get out there and walk the street and put one of these funny hats on and wrap their heads up, and they don't want to do that. They're wimps, because they still trying to make a fashion statement in this Roman world. My brother Art brought up the hair care industry. How many billion you said per year?
Too many.
Something crazy.
Something crazy.
That's correct.
All right, well,
Crazy.
in the Morris Science Temple of America, for instance, we teach our sisters to wrap their hair. The Quran and Islamic culture, the sisters wrap their hair. I believe there's 2 passages in the Bible that speaks about sisters wrapping their heads. So now we just cut billions of dollars out of the hair care industry by bringing a culture to them. You see, we teach in Moorish science, we don't believe in a spook mystery God that lives up in the clouds somewhere. We teach that a man's ideals is his God, and that man's God today, tomorrow is not man's God. You see, that's what we teach. So whatever you are about, that becomes your God. We teach that Allah is love. And if we are to imitate who we call Allah, you see, we call Allah something different from what the Mohammedan or what you may call Orthodox Muslims call Allah. We say that we meet Allah right here in the heart. No spookism. Easy concept, simple. I want to stress in my saying this, though, that I am not here to proselytize. Not at all. I am here to apotheosize. To apotheosize means to raise mere mortals up to the level of gods. You see, proselytization entails just trying to convert you to my religion. I don't have to do that. But what does it take for us to get back to the status of where we were as a people? We got all of these converging and diverging ideas in this room. And it brings me back to the point of agreeing to disagree. You have people in this room that may say, I don't want to get in this quote-unquote white man system. Prophet Noble Drew Ali came on the scene. He gathered the Moors. He said, you have a nationality. You are Moorish Americans. He said, you are not Negroes, blacks, colored folks, or Ethiopians, which is today's African Americans. Like I said, I'm a warrior scholar. Anybody want to challenge me on the issues, we could sit down, I'll bust your head. Point blank, period. Let's get it in. He gathered our people, 13 different states, but in Illinois in particular. And they put the first brother into office by the name of Oscar the Priest. First brother that was put into office since the 1877 compromise, when all of our people were kicked out of office, save one brother in North Carolina. He showed the power that we have as a nation. You heard the elders speak about our political status. Well, if you look up the definition of nationality in the Law Dictionary, nationality is determined by one's political status. So what is the political status of the so-called black man? He is subject to many different things. Read the end of the 13th, read the end of the 14th Amendment. It says that these articles are pretty much under Congress's discretion. Noble Drew Ali said that the 14th and 15th Amendment was not necessary for the salvation of our people, meaning that by calling yourself a slave, black, Negro, colored, African American, you will never rise above that status. Don't believe me? Am I being an ideologue? Let's walk up the block and take a look at the conditions of my people. Woo. Go on YouTube and punch up the documentaries on Detroit and Chi-Town and the Bloods and the Crips and the GDs and the Vice Lords all over this nation killing each other right now. Again, I didn't come here to get into no historical dissertation. I came to say that I need warriors. I need people that's willing to stomp the ground with me. There may be some of you who in here that are on the gate. I don't really know which way to go. I'm conscious. Come sit down with me and let's build. And if you want to debate, again, I gotta say I'll bust your head. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. And if we debate? You already know. We see that the election process, look at what they're doing right now. Look at what the Europeans, let's deal with the here and now. The 2010 midterm elections, 2012 presidential election is where their idea really culminated, to implement voter ID restrictions on our people. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that ballot was sacred, that we need to cast that ballot so that we can get the things that we want. You have a brother that you made or sister that you've grown up with in your district, and you get that brother elected. You know, you go to the games. You go to them same GDs, Vice Lords, Bloods, Crips, Nietas, Latin King. You go to them and you say, look, this is what we're trying to do. Y'all know, I'm from New York, so I'm going to use a little New York slang. Y'all know Son right there, right? We grew up with Son, right? He was always a good dude, right? Okay, cool. This is what we going to do. Son running for the councilman for this district. We all gonna come together and we're gonna put our votes behind this brother. And what he's gonna do in return is when the city budgets come in, when those construction contracts come in, he's gonna make sure that first, all of you that have any skills get a job first. Secondly, he's gonna make sure that where laborers are needed, you fill those positions. Think about every construction site that you've seen in your neighborhood. There were always a bunch of foreign people. You probably never recognized any of the people that were in your neighborhoods that were working on a construction site. Why? These people come from mainly the districts where they help elect somebody into office. Like, this is how simple this thing is. And so Prophet Noble Drew Ali showed us, this is what we do. You want to move collectively and everybody keep their own ideas. We have what's called the Moorish American Party, a political party for our people. Now, some may say that we're not Moors. Well, again, sit down with me and let's have a debate and I'll bust your head. Point blank, because you will never be able to prove to me that I'm black, because I'm standing right here with brown tone. Who can stand up here and show me where I'm black at besides these locks? And that ain't my skin. And if being black is determined by my locks, then man, we have a lot of races of humanity that we would call black. Like, this thing is not rocket science. This is simple. This is so simple. And this is one of the things that not only Prophet Noble Drew Ali came to show us, Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, Father Allah, I mean, the founder of the 5% Nation, he went into the hoods. I mean, he went where the games were, and we don't play craps in New York. We got the 3 dice, we throw CeeLo. He went to the CeeLo games and stood there building. Yo, let me hit that joint, man. Yo, let me sip some of that Mad Dog 2020. Did you know that you was God? And they looking at this man like he's crazy. What? What's dude talking about? But guess what? People started listening to him, and he was able to rally. And that was the organization that I was born into. The 5% Nation, which sprang from the Nation of Islam, who sprang from the Moorish Science Temple of America. Like, we have to recognize and realize that we don't have to go back into thousands of years of history to effectively get done what we need to get done right now as a people. The only thing we need to do is come together. Like I said, we have the Moorish American Party. So if you're saying, okay, well, I'm Hebrew Israelite, I can't necessarily do the Islamic. All right, cool, beloved. Well, we have the party. Can you cast a vote as a Moorish American? Point blank, period. Because at the end of the day, even if you say Moors were black people, you're still saying you're a Moor. If I'm wrong, I mean, pass the mic around. Yo, please.
This is the issue that I have.
Mm-hmm.
You're making some good points. Is that all of us who became conscious, we started off with black pride.
Mm-hmm.
The Father God Allah taught about black. The black man is God, the original man making on planet Earth. Every school of thought, before you became a Hebrew, before you became a Moor, you got black pride. Mm-hmm. Because our enemy has told us to hate ourselves. He's told us to hate our skin. That's why we bleach our skin. He told us to hate our hair, so we perm our hair to make it like the white man. So you won't evolve in consciousness at any school of thought until you first learn to love black. So to just like throw that out and say, well, I'm just a Moor now, forget black, you're cutting off the ladder of how most people even got to where you're at. They have to first start loving their blackness and their people and start listening to Malcolm and studying black nationalism, and that led them to becoming more Hebrew, etc. So I understand embracing your nationality and taking a political position, but to kick the ladder off, like we don't need to have black love, black pride, and black power, it doesn't make any logical sense.
Islam, and thank you for your question and your inquiry. The point you made is an excellent point, because we did start out like that. When I was born as a 5%, my father named me Nahim God, the Morning Star. And I would scream, I'm an Asiatic black man all day, every day. But I grew up in the hood, gunning and running and cutting and slicing and doing all the things that the hood dudes did. And where was the power in that? Where is the power in the blackness now? Because at the end of the day, who in here can prove that they're black? You can tell me that, oh, I'm black because the universe is black. Oh, really? Can you summon the universe right now to change the condition of my people? You can say the inside of a womb is black. Well, the inside of a European womb, wouldn't it be just as dark as any other womb? I mean, we're taught and we've researched that the calling of our people, Negro, black, and colored, was an act of European psychology. Of course. Seen the movie Malcolm X where he reads the definition of black, and everything that's black is wrong, but everything that's white is good. Noble Drew Ali said, what title does Satan give himself? God. Well, can you define white? White means God, and God means purity. I mean, white means purity, purity means God, and God means the ruler of the land. Read Ancient and Modern Britons by David McRitchie. They're breaking down that Moors had the same type of caste system. Hindu, same type. White and black doesn't relate or equate to a skin tone. Only here in the United States of America. So by holding on to the blackness, you hold on to the European psychological grip that they have on you. And instead of calling it European psychology, which is what it is, you call it white supremacy. And if you call it white supremacy, you acknowledge that there is somebody supreme over you. Which brings me back to the point where it says, what title does Satan give himself? God. And every time you call him white, that is what you call him. Again, you know, we could take it off the mic, sit down, let's debate about it. I'll bust your head on it.
But just one last note, I'm going to add the word black, because I mean, you're making a good argument, but it's very kindergarten when you say that.
I'm black.
People room and you say they're not black. When we call ourselves black, that's a Pan-Africanist concept. The oldest people that you'll find on the earth, when you talk about anthropology, the older they are, the blacker they are. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So now we all know that we have all been amalgamated with the white man. That's why we have all these different shades. We're not black like the Sudanese. We're not black like the original Nubians. But we honor our blackness in connection with our ancient ancestors that was black, blue black. They was blacker than a million midnights. They was blacker than everybody in this room mixed together in one bucket. So when we call ourselves black, it's not a scientific description of the people in this room. If you look at the brother right here, this brother black. Stand up, brother. This brother's black. That means our original people. Hold on. Our original people look closer to this brother before we amalgamated with our enemy. But now all of us are all these different because we've been raped by a slave master. He raped us and made us brown, and made us tan, and made us we are all of our people on the earth. Because all of our people on the earth, the majority of melanated people are black. The brown are a minority. Yeah. The majority of population of African people is in Nigeria. Are they tan? They're black. Sudan, black. Ghana, black. Uganda, black. The black man is God. So I'm not arguing his political strategy, because you need to beat this white man by any means necessary. But not to honor your blackness, you're a goddamn fool.
Came in with that fire.
I don't think I'm a good orator like
Black man's God.
But when I look at this brother's skin, it's brown to me. Because if he was black, he would be fading right in with his suit. Point blank, just look at him. Just look. Can you not see that this man is brown? Like I said, from Tootsie Roll brown to a dark light tan. This is.
You ain't gonna get that shade of brown unless you throw some black in there.
In one of my research,
add black to that brown.
In one of my research videos that I did when I was refuting my brother right here, Inky, I showed and proved that the oldest people that's noted on the planet, the bush people of the Kalahari, their skin tone is lighter than mine, and yet their DNA is listed as the oldest DNA on the planet. See, this is practical. I'm not into, the hooting and hollering and all that. I like that, though. I like for my people to get riled up. And they show that the darkest people on the planet, what haplogroup was that? The M haplogroup, I believe it is. I think I'm saying that right.
L3, man.
L3? No. A1B1. Let him do it. A1B1. I mean, I get confused with the numbers in the letter.
I ain't gonna help y'all.
Listen, the point is this.
Right on into that corner there.
The point is this, that the darkest people on the planet, the Yarawa tribe of the Andamanese Islands, their haplogroup developed thousands of years after these people. These people are lighter than you. Matter of fact, they're as light as this sister right here, this sister, this brother. And yet they represent the oldest genes on the planet. So if it is true that we started off as a black people, meaning black like that, then simply give me the genetic information so that I can research it for myself.
Well, the scientists that you mentioned.
Hold on. Let me say this.
Give everybody.
Hold on. Okay, definitely. I want to see it.
You got some time coming up, so you gonna come back to him. So let him. You gonna come back.
King Nova, you gonna come right.
Is that other
Now, I was just going to add on to what the brother was saying over here about our blackness and about our ancestors identifying themselves as black. I mean, from my research, I mean, when you look into ancient Kemet, you know, the people of ancient Kemet, you know, they describe themselves as black people. When you look at the word Kemet itself, like they said, Cam, you know, actually means black. You know, when you look at the symbolism, you know, you see what, like a crocodile and a few other things here, there, you know. I mean, they themselves identify themselves as black. Kemet, you know, which is actually just a, you know, switched around by, you know, the Semitic people, because, you know, they got different speech, you know, so, you know, but, you know, Kemet itself, you know, just breaks the land of black people, because Kamau means black person.
Okay. A common misconception.
Hold on.
The word is Remit Kemet, which means the people of the black land. This is where simple observation comes in at. Now we got to get into thousands of years of history. When you look at the Cushites on the walls of ancient Egypt, right? The Nubians, as they've been called, the Egyptians paint them with black paint. This is an actual fact. And they paint them in that way as a caricature, because nobody's black, or somebody in this room would be black as that man's suit, because that man is brown. Just look at his face. If the Egyptians were saying that they were a black people, and I want you to think about this, beloved, why didn't they paint themselves with the black paint?
You gotta look. I mean, there's certain instances in that land. You know what I mean? Where you got invasions, and you know,
I mean, that, you know,
That's a good question, though, yo.
it's valiant, but, you know, trying to, but at the end of the day, we need.
It's depictions of black people on the walls of Egypt. Black. Ochre red and black all day long.
it's a Nefertiti.
Hold on. Keep it down. Hold on. You next, brother.
Yeah, I just want to.
Everybody ain't black.
You can approach this from so many different directions, and if you talk about history, you talk about people. The further back in time you go, you see the hues of our people change.
Yeah,
they don't
right.
get brighter; they get darker. You think about life in general. Think about it in terms of chemistry. What is everything on this planet made of? Carbon. What color is carbon? What is so powerful about carbon? It's dark. It absorbs all the sunlight. It doesn't reflect anything. It absorbs it all. That's the power of the melanin content of our skin. And further back in history, the darker it is, and the more powerful, the more conscious we were. So it goes like that. It doesn't change. But the limit is, you can only see time expanding this amount of time. You can't see past this point. You can only see this far. You can only see what the history books have for us. You can only see what my friend said, anthropology. You can see that stuff. You can only go back so far, but this planet and our people have been here for so much longer. So you can only argue a point as far back as you can see it.
Yeah, good point.
And Islam. And certain things are, you know, just mere observations, things that we learned in elementary school. For instance, you said that the people on the planet are getting darker. And I'm guessing that you mean that because of the melanin content of our people being carbon-based is causing this darkness to spread. Am I correct?
No, he said when you go back in time.
Oh, when you go back in time.
We get darker. So we're saying is we're losing our pigment as we move forward.
The further back in time you go, we're darker, we're more powerful, more conscious, because that melanin content is more concentrated.
Now,
but in time, as it moves forward, through the raping of our people, through the different foods that we put through, any number of different means, We've changed in hue and color, and it's not a bad thing, it's just reality.
Okay, and that, again, that's understandable as well. But when you look at what you said afterwards, you said that we cannot go that far back into history to see what was. So we can't say that if we go back into history, we're going to see us dark, black, but you cannot pull the reference point. But then after that say that, well, you know, we can't go too far back into history all to make the point. The fact of the matter is this. Black is a title that was given to us during slavery times. I quiz people from Africa, from the main, you know, from the continent, regardless of their nation. And I ask them a question. I say, what nation are you from in Africa? You can clearly tell the difference between our, you know, physiognomic features and their physiological. Okay, excuse me. I told you I ain't that deep.
You all right?
You good?
He was right.
I say, you know, I ask them what is the name of their tribe, and they always tell me. What's the name? You ask somebody out here, you know, what tribe do you belong to? They'll be like, what you mean? I'm from 23rd and Crenshaw. You know that? What does that mean? Now, the next thing I ask them, I say, do you call yourself black over there? Like the last guy in the gas station near my house. He said, no. I said, so y'all don't call yourselves blacks over there? He said, no. But this happens with everybody that I speak with from off of that continent. There was a comedian, right? Light skin, he's a mulatto. I can't think of his name. He just did a comedy skit. He's from South Africa. Half German, half Moor. I use the term Moor. And he wanted to always be black. He identified with the struggle. And so he was taking his trip over here to the United States. And so he was, you know, he said, I watched on BET for 18 hours straight, every black movie and this and that. I wanted to be black. So he said when he got over here, he started talking to the people and trying to talk like everybody. He said, so then I went to do a show in Florida. And he said, a Spanish brother came up to me and said, hey, cabron, or something like that. We got to stick together, man. He said, so all that time I thought I was black, I found out I was Mexican. See, like, only we are caught up in this fiction, this blackness.
Pardon me for a second, brother. Listen, real quick. You know, because this is like the sidetrack of the slaves, right? Check it out. This is good right here. I was trying to. I'm going with just political. Real quick. We speak English, so we say we fuchsia, polka dot, purple, brown, and black mixed. Will we be less oppressed? With these titles that we kicking, you know what I'm saying? Will we advance any further? No. You understand what I'm saying? See, we're more concerned with the style over the substance. Right now, as a whole, as I said earlier, we fucked up. So we can sit here and we can talk about some solutions, or we could debate back and forth whether you black, you brown, you light skinned, you tan. It don't even matter, because when we get up out here, we're gonna be niggas. So at the end of the day, in building a family, what can we do practically?
Unite. It's all right. I agree with the last thing that the brother said. Let me just address what the brother said. I'm not a nigger. I'm not at all. And I'm not either. I'm dealing with how society deals with it. I mean, I'm not going to let society define me neither. I hear you, brother. Nobody's going to define me. You walk down the street on Ralph David. And
I have a question.
That's how I get there.
Hold on. Let me get everybody's attention.
Okay,
we're gonna let Black Son speak and let Lord Ivy, we gotta keep moving. Lord Ivy, wrap it up because we got like 3 other speakers. And all right.
Now you said you wanted to deal with the here and now, and so you said that you're a political party.
Indeed.
Stand up, can't see you.
Okay. With that being said, you know, you have the gays. You know, they push for marriage equality. The Jews, they basically push for nuclear weapons. You know, they've 16 jets. Basically, you see where I'm going with this. So my question to you, whether you want to be a board, black, what are some of the stuff that's on the table that we can offer and petition Obama, Hillary, or whoever, the politicians. So what do you have to offer as a, you know, because I mean, I'm a registered voter.
Okay.
And my solution is that we register the vote so we can be in the jury pool and lock down the jury saying, no, that man is not guilty. But we hold it back on our votes, make the Republicans and the Democrats pander our votes, not just give it to them. You know what I'm saying? So my question is, what do you have coming to the table as a demand?
Well,
question, political question.
Honest, beloved, and I'm so glad that you asked that. One of the things on our website, www.morrissciencetemple.org, where we have the link for our political party, the Moorish American Party. We also have a website that's under construction, MoorishAmericanParty.us. One of the main things that our party is pushing for is economic security. You brought up the Jews. That was an excellent point, so-called Jews. And Obama gave them, as a nation of people, from nation to nation, $60 billion. That's billion with a B. $60 billion. This is what nations do. International discourse among friends. Now, when we have 37, 38 million of our people here, imagine, beloved, we are able to capture 25 million of our people and a good 10 to 15 million of our Spanish-speaking Asiatics, as we call them, on this land. So what we do is we control the voter block. So now one of the initiatives that I put together is called the Poor People's Initiative. So whereas that 60 billion that can just be pinned to go to Israel comes to us. But we got to remember one thing, that nations do intercourse with nations. Nations don't do intercourse with fictions. No, they give the fictions welfare and Section 8 and dependency and cartoons of European heroes and movies with European heroes and sex images, and that's what they give the fictions. But they give the nations, they deal with them like they deal with other nations. And this is what I'm saying now. We are a people. We are a nation of people. And if nationality, Black's Law Dictionary, look it up, is determined by one's political status. This is how your nationality is determined. This is an actual fact. So if you push, now let's just say we control 35, 45 million votes as a party. Now we can push for the Poor People's Initiative, and that 60 billion can come into our communities. Who disagrees with that?
I do.
Okay.
Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un said what makes a nation are nuclear weapons.
That's North Korea. That's North Korea. That's what makes a country. That's what, because you got to have somewhere to launch. A nation and country are two separate concepts. A country is defined by geographical boundaries. Nations are defined by a historical continuity. Please don't believe me? Consult Black's Law Dictionary. I have the definitions on my tablet.
Okay, I got a question. What do you say to the youth? What do you say to people that's actually 25 and younger, that when they actually go to school and they actually have to look at those history books, and they look at those history books and we're not in there, in Global 9, we're not in there, we're in there as ancient Egyptians, but they don't look like us. They look like mixed people. They look like.
You get the microphone.
That's right. What do you say to the people that's 25 and younger about the history book and about us and about how do you go about them? Because we're not in those history books. We're in there as slaves, but we're not in there as the ancient Egyptians. You talk about the ancient Egyptians and Global 9 and Global 10 and we're in there as slaves. We pop up in there as a slave in the U.S. history book. We fall out the sky as a slave, you know what I'm saying? People who's young and people who's younger than me, because I'm 25, they don't understand where to go from there. They don't understand where to, really think when it comes to school. You know what I'm saying? The parents, they drop them off at school and they don't really, teach them about their heritage. It's just like, okay, I have time. Okay, y'all out for 8 hours, go to school, y'all come home. I'm not gonna help you with your homework. I'm on Facebook, Where do we as, the youth look at it, because they're not targeting y'all no more. They're targeting us, people that's younger than us with the cartoons and all that other stuff. They done already got us brainwashed. It's now it's up to us as in, you know, waking up the youth and the children that's up under us, because they don't, you know what I'm saying, our minds is fine, you know what I'm saying, because they got us where they want us to be. It's now for them, you know, the children, you know what I'm saying.
I want to make this my last question, because I know, you know, we got some more speakers. My last answer, excuse me, to a question. That's an excellent question. And this is what I opened up with. I need warriors that's going to walk the street with me. I'm not just stepping up here to be a teacher. I'm stepping up here to be a leader. And the more people that we grab, the more people that we teach. One of the things about being a nation is that you can now start to incorporate your own cities. This is not some novel concept. You had a Vietnamese group that just brought a city, I think, in Portland 2 years ago. You have the Maharani Vedic city in, what's that, Iowa? Out in Iowa. These are a group of Hindus that came from India in the 70s and brought a city. We got rappers. Only thing we have to do is pitch our ideas to our rappers and our entertainers, but we got to come together as one, and we say, look, it costs $500,000 for us to get this municipal bond to secure the city. We want to build our own city. Now we start controlling the content. You want to change the imagery in the books? Well, we got to start writing some books. You want to change what the people see in movies? Then we have to offer them an alternative. I'm writing a movie script right now called Al-Andalus, when the Moors took Spain. And I never pat myself on the back, but I think that this movie script is coming along pretty good. Like, we gotta change that. We cannot sit around and become a people that are mere complainers because nothing else will ever get done. You see, that was my black experience, that we just complained all of our lives. But where did it get us? We got sunk deeper in the muck and in the mire in this land. And the people, the nations of the earth, they're laughing at us. They're looking at us like we're jokes right now. So if we're going to do that, sister, we have to come together and do it. I think, it's my opinion, that the political party is a great foundation for us to start grabbing some of the power. In order to disseminate power, have power. And that, you know, that's basically my message. So if anybody want to build, let's build. Anybody want to debate, let's sit down and do it. My number 706-352-0478. I'm tired of beating Unc up all the time. That's why he don't want to talk to me no more. He don't have me on his blog talk show no more. You know, I'm tired of it. So now I'm just saying, like, you know, real talk. Let me end with this. We gotta stop agreeing to disagree. Point blank. If King Noble feels a certain type of way, then me and King Noble should, when they did the bailout, they locked them people in the room for like 72 hours or a week. They locked them there. Go to the bathroom, go eat. And they did not stop until they came up with a resolution. We're too comfortable. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said the Moors have never done nothing but at the point of a sword. So I stand in front of you as a general today. It's time to make moves, people. Peace.
Appreciate it. That's a good word from my brother. You think it didn't take much for this to happen, but it take a lot of us to just allow things to come in the way it's supposed to come and allow nature to take its course. You know, me and my brother.
Excuse me, beloved. My bad. I forgot to acknowledge this brother for having us here today. Pardon me. Give honor to this brother.
And that's why we're here. We're here to build. I'm here to build with my brothers all across. I know you've probably heard it on radio stations. Me and Unc disagreeing on certain things. I got my brother King Noble. This is my first time meeting him, and I seen his thing talking about me, but it's a beautiful thing. I get some videos. I got red eyes. I'm throwing up Illuminati signs. But it's part of life, and you know what? That stuff don't bother me. You know why? Because we're all humans. You know, and everybody has an opinion. I'm not going to take your opinion away from you, but I build with you as a brother. So I'm gonna call on my brother, and he'll give you about 10 minutes. And we got 2 other speakers, and I'll probably get I'll give some word for our brothers and sisters. I'm gonna call my brother King Noble to give a couple words before I call on.
I didn't plan on speaking today, but I'm gonna try to.
Hold on, let's get you some volume. A little bit. I think it's the table that messed it up. You might want to grab the other one if you can. You heard King Noble? Grab that other one by Kalani over there. See if that's working. The plug in.
Yeah, here you go.
Okay.
So I didn't plan on speaking today, but I'm gonna speak. I won't be long, but I'm gonna be strong. I'm not talking to you as one who has a super strategy that's going to intellectually fit the relative problems that we all face and confront as a people individually. But what I will say is that there's some things that I've solved. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and I've come here to Georgia to connect with the conscious community, to build something. I want to build what I learned as being a soldier in the streets of Chicago. I want to bring that type of militancy to the South. That's the main reason I came down here, because I feel like there's a more positive energy, the conscious community is stronger, and I think it can happen here. So I came back here to do that. What I'm bringing to the table, I have done. So I'm not talking to you all as somebody who's speculating or pontificating on some ideas of what can happen in the future. I've come down to Georgia, I've been here for a year now, and I've took over land. I found some property that I wanted, and I secured it, and I took it over. And I escorted the police off of my land. And I told them this is sovereignty. I don't have no identification. I have no state ID. I've never had. I delivered all my children myself. I'm a natural herbalist, you know. So I'm not talking to you about what I'm not speculating. If I got land, I'm creating self-sustainable water systems. Right now I'm using a generator. I'm trying to come up with my own solar energy. You know, I've come up with a battery system that could, using car batteries, I could at least run the temple at least 12 hours off the batteries and 12 hours off the generator. I've come up with different type of confrontation strategies of dealing with police and white supremacists, not dealing with no paperwork, just on some Jedi mind shit. The black man's God. We gonna win. And it has worked. But it has worked. And I don't down no man's strategy. I'm not here to sound religious, because when you're in front of the enemy, you behind enemy lines, you should use whatever means necessary you can use. If you can say you're Moor, you're black, you're purple, you're green, whatever that will win that battle for you, you need to utilize it. So I support all of that. I might have this argument with this Moor because I might not believe that may work. But he may get in front of the crackers and he may be able to pull that shit off. More power to him. More power to him. But what I'm concerned about is what's work. And what I can share with you is what actually works and what I've been doing. I can't guarantee that all black people want what all black people want. I think that's another issue. We don't understand the relativity of our condition. For some, freedom is getting a job. For some, freedom is having a better school. For some, it's having our own politician. Freedom for me is having absolutely nothing to deal with these goddamn crackers. Do y'all hear me? Freedom to me means having absolutely nothing, but that's not freedom for everybody. Because some of our elders and ancestors have fought for positions in this society to be able to go to his school system, use his hospitals, right? Get his benefits, get his jobs, get his retirement benefits, and get his unions. They fought for that. So when somebody come like me to say to hell with this cracker, they don't want to hear what I got to say. And I understand their struggle. I'm not so ignorant or oblivious to how they understand freedom. But I want to appeal to those who are revolutionaries. Those who don't want to have a goddamn thing to do with this cracker. That's the audience I'm talking to. They're tired of the white man all together, what he's doing to our people, and they're ready to militarize and mobilize and stand against white supremacy themselves. I'm looking for those people. And I'm not looking for those people that are seeking the validation of other people to do it. You follow? I'm looking at those people that are so goddamn fed up themselves. Because that's the problem that we have. It's like,
we have a social validation reality where I ain't going unless a whole bunch of other Negroes going. I ain't gonna get free unless a whole bunch of other Negroes get free. I ain't gonna fight with other niggas. I ain't gonna be the only one fighting. Well, I'm gonna want to be the only one goddamn it fighting. If the cracker come in here right now, me and my goons is gonna be the only ones fighting. We don't care. We're not looking for validation. We're not looking for validation. Because somebody in this room, somebody gonna have to stand up. And even if those people that want to assimilate and acquiesce to some level of the system, you still need your revolutionary militants out here that can stand up against this devil. You do need them. And I'm not talking about your political puppets that look like revolutionary, but they got a super clean uniform on, their boots is shined up, they're saying all the right things you want to hear, but they're not going to get in the trenches. If ain't some money being handed out, some donation money, or they can stand next to some socialist crackers or some Ritz crackers or something like that, then they're not going to be on the front line. You're looking at revolutionaries that are on the front line. We need people like that. When our youth are getting shot down in the streets, you need real militants and real revolutionaries. Everybody might not be that. Everybody might not agree with that. But that's definitely needed. So I'm appealing to the people that want to do that and want to be that. I think a lot of strategies and methods that people are bringing to the table here, I think they'll work relative to what level people are on. Some people, I don't even want to go up in the white man's courtroom. You know, the police pull me over, I get an anxiety attack immediately. I don't feel like they have absolutely no authority over my existence. I don't want to talk about nothing with them really. So the only thing I'm going to say is what's going to get me out of that situation. So I'm different. We are different. Some of us are the reincarnation of some damn goon-ass slaves. You follow? We the Nat Turners. We've come back as rebel spirits. And we have zero patience. So it's not just ignorance or the lack of intellectual attunement with the political situation that's going on. Our spirits will not allow us for even 5 minutes to bow down to this enemy. We know that we were rulers. We know that we're the gods. And not because these are historical abstractions, because we feel within our DNA. We're walking around with our third eye wide open, knowing that we are the gods, and we cannot even tolerate to live another day knowing that we bow down to this enemy. So that spirit is in some people here. And that's the spirit that we speak to. That's not everybody. So if that's not your spirit, you're not going to agree with me. You're going to think, oh, you crazy, man. The white man got guns, and he got missiles, and he got... But you're looking at a person that don't have a choice because of who I am. Like some people, they have a choice of whether they're going to be vegetarians or not, right? Some people have a choice. Well, I don't want to kill animals. I want to eat healthier. But some people, if they eat just one little piece of meat, they start vomiting and throwing up because they can't tolerate it at all. It's like milk, lactose intolerance. Well, some of us got white supremacy intolerance. Huh? Some of us can't tolerate none of it. Some of us can't tolerate it. Every time I see a white man look like he got some authority, I just start shaking and like, what the fuck is that? We can't tolerate it. Let's get it. So don't just think that I'm just ignorant and you know, I'm just, oh, he's just going off and he's not thinking, he needs to read and go to the bookstore. I do that too. And still when I get in front of the crack, I'm like, hell no, man. Your time is up. Repeat after me, your time is up, cracker. Your time is up, cracker. And because of people like us, that his time is up. So I challenge you all to get the courage and have the audacity to stand up for what you know. Don't fear death and all that. You're going to die anyway. You're going to die a God or you're going to die a slave. Which one are you going to choose? I'm going out this boy as a God, as a black guy. So I challenge us, don't let them kill our babies in the streets. It's not always an argument. It's not always something that have to be validated about a white man or his books or his information. It's about standing for something. You know, it's time for us that we actually take a stance. I think that's all of this came from black people that were willing to take a stance. Now today we have black people who are attached to their inadequacies about how much they know. I mean, how many books do you have to read to stand up with your babies getting shot down in the streets? How many DVDs do you have to watch? How many YouTube videos do you have to watch before you are compassionate and sensitive enough to respond to the situation that's affecting our people? So there's not having enough knowledge is not an excuse that we're going to be able to use no more. Well, I need to study a little more. You need to study a little more to get your ass whooped a little more? How about study and swing? Yeah. Still study, but goddamn it, swing back. That's right. You know, some of us say we out here studying. You can study in jail. If you out, you need to be swinging. You follow? Somebody can send you some books in prison, but if you out here, you need to be fighting back. That's a fact. So do them both. I'm not here to attack the scholars. I'm not here to attack the politicians, because trust me, if any situation I get in, I'm calling them Moors. What can y'all do? Come with that more science. UCC something. UCC my ass the way up out of here something. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling anybody I can. I'm going to be praying to Yahweh, all of them. When it comes to this white man, give me the power to kill this goddamn devil. You follow? I'm going to be dealing with anything I can muster my hands on. I'm going to grab onto it. Yeah. So I want to cut it short. I'm talking from the perspective of what I am willing to do. I come here out, I can't tell y'all all that we doing. Because I know there's some other people out here that don't need to hear it. But I came here to support brothers that are doing stuff on other levels. And as challenging as I may appear, because some people think, oh, I'm just a critic and I just want to challenge and expose people. But no, I'm actually asking real questions to see if they have evolved their level of thinking of that problem further than I did. Because that's where I got to. I studied with the Moore Science of America. I studied under with the KLG, Ben Amin and Hebrew Israelites. I studied with the Nation of Gods on Earth. I live right down the street from Minister Louis Farrakhan's house. You follow what I'm saying? I've been studying this for years. So I'm asking questions that maybe people can help me. Maybe it's something they saw that I didn't see. You know, maybe if their research have led them to be able to deal with a problem that I didn't deal with. And that's really what I'm asking from. And what I find when I ask those questions with a lot of people is they ain't really thought it out. They just, this is the last thing that they heard. They don't realize that while some people are working, getting their jobs, being under white supremacy, being in the system, it's us that have been meditating on the liberation of black people. It's black supremacists that have been meditating all day long. While you at work, while you at the club, all we doing is meditating on black supremacy. Yes. So every thought that y'all have, we thought about that. It's not religious gangbanging. Let me see what the atheists are saying. Let me see what the Moors are saying. Let me see who has the strategy, because we're that bent on a solution that we're willing to look at all of them. But if we come into some concrete problems, it's like, well, I don't see how that's going to work. The white man is putting us down over here. I don't see how that's going to work. The white man is putting us down over here. So all my work that I do online is challenging people to see the bigger picture.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on building up businesses for our people and employing them in those particular businesses?
That's a good question. Black people don't need me to talk about no business. Every black person I know about getting money. You didn't hear about getting money? Raise your hand. Huh? They don't need another teacher and another speaker to come out and talk about no money. That's the problem. All we focused on is money. Right. And we say that we're the largest consumers in the world. Well, I see why. Because all we focused on is money. That's a fact. So that's not my position. And you don't need me to tell you to stop getting money and be against capitalism. You don't need me to tell you that, because you're not going to listen. You're going to go and be about getting your money anyway. So I don't have to speak either way. You're going to be about business, whether King Noble say to hell with money. If I tell you to burn, get your money out your pocket and burn it tonight, how many of y'all going to burn it? Nope. So it ain't going to even me even telling you really how I feel about that piece of paper with the white man's face on it. There's no reason for me to even go into that. You're going to do that anyway. But what I ask that you do is, while you're getting that money, that you do like other nations do. Support your revolutionaries. That's right. Support your militants. Because it cannot be a revolution that you do not support. What I have a problem with is when I quit the Matrix, I have not worked in the last 15 years. I have not had a job in over 15 years. I don't pay rent, I don't deal with none of his society. What bothers me is when I tell other brothers to step out of the Matrix and be soldiers, live in the trenches, right? Get in these forests out here in Florida, you know, I mean in Georgia. Get out in these wilderness and learn survival. And when I tell brothers that, they tell me, oh, I got to get a job to get my money and blah, 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 blah. That bothers me when I know you really want to get a job because you want to cater to your negative habits. Huh? You want to buy your little weed. Make sure you got your weed money, right? Make sure you get your little drink and go to the club. So you're not supporting the white man's system. You're not supporting the white man's system because you're trying to survive and better yourself. You are addicted to his consumeristic reality. Because if it was true, it wouldn't be people like me that would have to beg so much to just get a little funding. Because so many people work for the white man, they be like, oh, this brother's revolutionary, let me donate to him. I see he really doing something. But you know what you're going to say? No, this is my cigarette money. Right. No, this is my Matrix money. Right. So it's a contradiction. It's a contradiction in the black economic community that we're supposed to be raising funding for a revolution, but there ain't no funding for a revolution. That same funding is going right back into white supremacy under the auspices of capitalism and business building. Last point, Black Wall Street. They needed a military occupation. Yep. All the money that they had in Tulsa, Oklahoma did not save them from the white man. Am I right? They burnt that city to the ground with all of its banks and churches and real estate and foreclosures. They burnt it in the ground. You need to form, if you're going to have a business, fund the black revolution, black supremacy. That's my point.
Black Brow. Black Brow. Wow. That was a good one.
Ooh, left the mic smoking. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You got a question?
I have a serious question. Okay, we say all this God, we gods, and the white man is the devil, right? Okay, where is the God at if the devil is in control of your life? If the devil is making all the rules and you're following the rules, where is the God at? Because the last time I checked, God's supposed to be supreme. He's supposed to be powerful. He's supposed to be all-knowing. He's supposed to be in control of things. Where is he? Because if you're the God and the white man's the devil, that means you should be able to take control of the situation. You know what I'm saying? You should be the one that's taking over.